Good morning. I'm running behind, but I got everything straight. Now I just have to find a little chew for each of the girls. So give me a minute for that. I'll give you a few minutes to come in and to see if some of these I don't know what they are. All right. Let's try that with you. You want that? Here. We'll see how this goes. I don't know if it'll work or not. All right, let me see if I'm on either of my devices. Oh, I'm on my iPad, so I can get that up. And I'm on my computer. So, okay, there we go. All set. Well, hey, Sharon, good morning. Ezzy took hers. Let's see if JoJo's, yep, JoJo's got hers. Yay! I struggle with finding chews for them. Ezzy is really picky. JoJo doesn't seem to be, but Ezzy, I don't know what it is. She likes some and not others, so we'll see. So I'm trying some different ones that I got from the breeder that I got JoJo from. She gave me a bag full of stuff. So I'm trying them, and when I find ones they like, I'm going to order them because that way I know they'll eat them and use them. So I hope everybody's having a great weekend. It's a lovely Memorial Day weekend down here. I got up this morning, it was 58 degrees. I went outside with my heavy coat on to take the girls out at 7. It was like, oh my gosh, it's cold out here. And I don't know what it's going to be today, but we have a beautiful sunny day so far. The sky's not as blue as it normally is. It's a little, it's like a little overcast, but it's not affecting the sun. So I don't know if we're supposed to get rain. I missed the weather last night. So we'll see. So I thought I would do some ink smushing. This is a great technique for beginners and to give them a chance to try some things. All they need is an ink pad, but I'm going to do one with an ink pad and one with a re-inker. And I'm going to do it 2 different ways. I'm going to use a smusher and where'd it go? I have a piece of acetate here somewhere that I was going to use. It was sitting here. Now I can't find it. Oh no. I'll find it when I stand up and go looking. I was shoving stuff around and everything because I was trying to get ready. Oh, here it is. And a piece of acetate. And this you can get off of packages. Like if you get stamps or dies, they sometimes will have this over top of them or can attach to them. And if you store yours a different way, save these because they're great for that. They're also great if you do any kind of painting. I've been saving the backings from my glue dots because I get the flats. I like them better than the roll. They're easier to use. And I put paint on it when I'm painting my pieces for my Clear Scraps design team. And then I just pitch it because it doesn't matter. So I thought I would give you 2 ways to see how to use it. How to do some ink smushing. And I'm going to create a background. And then I've got for one I'm going to do blue and I'm going to put some daisies with it. And the other one I'm going to do green and I have some green stems and some butterflies to put on it. So we'll see how it goes. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to get ready and flip this around so that we can get started. So if you get dizzy, close your eyes. Okay, I hit the button. Sorry. And then she's going to come back upstairs and try to take JoJo's. All right, I'm going to kind of shift things around so I can move in a little closer because I'm way far out. hang on, don't open your eyes yet. I've got to, if I'm too far out, you can't see anything. I'm seriously thinking of trying to get, I saw one. I just have to talk to my friendly neighborhood engineer. I saw something that I think I would like to try. And he built me the stand for my lights. So I think he could do this for me also. All right, let me get this tightened up. And then I'm going to move this back. And then I can attach my camera to it and hopefully go in and up and down. Hey, Betty Ann. I apologize for all of this, I know, but it is a glass mat that I have, and this is great on a glass mat. I just wished it didn't have, of course, you know what? Hang on a minute. Let me get a clear piece of paper, if I can find one, to put underneath of it, and that will help. No, that's got too much on it. Hold on. Here we go. I can put this underneath, which will help some. I didn't even think about it. I'll just slide this under. There. That helps some, takes away some of the distractions, so to speak. So hopefully that will work. We'll find out. All right, I'm going to get started. I'm just using regular white cardstock for this. I've done this before and it's worked out fine. I'm going to start with the blue. All right. And I'm going to put a dot here. All right. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the acetate first. And the reason being is I can smush this down and spread it out. Okay. And I just pick it up and put it down. And if you want depth, I've got some spots that I can do. I'm going to have to add more. Let me add a little bit more. That's the only thing with using a dot. So kind of spread it around. All right, so there's that. I'm not going to do any more than that so I can do my flowers. I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. And I'm going to take my towel and clean the blue off of this because I'm going to use it again. Let me make sure, yeah, with the green. And now I'm going to pull in another piece. And this time I'm going to use my tool. Okay, I didn't get the round before. I don't know why I'm getting the round. Oh well, it'll give us a different look. I may be too heavy-handed today, and that might be why I'm getting the round pieces. I'm going to try and add some colors over top lightly and see if I can get rid of the rounds and the lines. And I did do these full size so I can cut them down. All right, so there's that one. And I'm going to clean this off. And then I'm going to clean my mat off. And see, this is the beauty of the glass mat. It's easy to clean. All right, I might try something a little different with this one. I'm going to use, there's my acetate. I'm going to use one of my favorite greens from Altenew, and it's Firefly. I really like this green for some reason. So I'm going to add some green. All right. And I'm going to try adding some water. So I'm going to pick this up and I'm just going to spritz it with the water. And let's see what happens if I add water. So this gives you an entirely different look. All right, now I'm going to go in and try to fill in some of the empty spaces. Okay, so there's that. Not bad. Now, this is going to take longer to dry than the others, but I may go back and try adding some water to the blue and going over top and see what happens. All right. Let's add some water again. Oops, I put that down and I shouldn't. So this is a quick way to do a background. I need some more water up there. I think the water, I'm not worried about this one because it's going to have the leaves over top. So that's the second one. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off both of my things. And because my blue didn't have water added to it, it dried almost immediately. So I'm going to take and try it again, the blue again, and add some water to it. Let's see what happens. All right, there's that. All right. I'm going to pull this back in. And I chose, this one is called Summer Shower. All right, let me get my, I can't pick it up. I can't get my acetate up. Okay. I think this is, well, it's a lot darker than I wanted, but that's okay. We can see how it goes. You know, it's just paper and ink. All right, and now I'm going to do the smushed one and see if I can get added a little bit more water this time. I'm going to go around the edges so I can pick and choose. I don't know about that one. I've used this before, but I'm thinking this is not the one I used. I think I used the small one. This is the regular size, so I may have to see what the smaller one does another time. All right, let me clean this up and clean up the acetate. Let's get this stuff out of the way and we'll put our cards together. Now, I did do my cutting ahead of time. Well, Ezzy must be chewing on hers because she hasn't come back upstairs. Either that or she can't find any place to. I'm going to go with the green ones first because I want those blue ones to dry some. This was my first one, and it's still kind of damp. Let's see. So is this one. Let me hit it with the heat tool. Last time she had it, she hit it and then came back upstairs right away. Now I will have to cut these down. So there are my two pieces. I've got my leaves here, and I cut them. I chose the Firefly because it's lighter, and I cut these out of I'm looking for my pokey tool. There it is. I used it. Out of a darker green. Let me get my pieces out, and then I can get them off my mat. I don't know about you, but there are all kinds of sales this weekend. Every company has sales going on. So if you're looking for something or want some other ideas, go check out the sales. All right, let me pull in my trimmer. Let's see if I can do this. No, it's not wide enough. Darn. The little one. I was gonna hope I can use this. This one has not been cooperating. All right, so this is 4 1/4. So I'm gonna cut it down 1/2 inch on all sides. And you'll see why in a minute. This is 5 1/4, right? No, 5 1/2. So I cut this at 5 1/4. And see, I'm taking away that white, which helps. It gives you a, there. And this is, I need to follow the line on this side to cut, not the top there. See, that way I don't have as much white showing. Now with this one, I've kind of got my sides good. See, I've got to cut from the bottom is what I need to do. I need to pull this up a little. Hang on. Close your eyes. All right, well, that's not bad. All right, I have some here, but not a lot here. So I'm going to take the full 1/2 inch off of here. The reason I switched, I should use it upside down. Let me try that. There's a spot up here that there's a gouge out of it, and I don't know how it happened. Again, it could have been me, but all right, I want to take 1/4 of an inch off this side. So I'm doing this backwards. I'm right-handed. All right, there. So there are my two pieces cut down. And I didn't pull out a layer, but I'm going to. I'm going to pull out a green that I think will go with that and cut it down. All right, let's cut this at, I got to cut this at 5 1/4. So I can get my two. See, it doesn't even cut well down there. I have a new one I want to get. I'm waiting to use up my blades. All right, now there's 4 1/4. See, it's right there. It's just, it's frustrating. But I did find one that I really like. It's very similar to this because I like this. Oh, wait a minute, that's supposed to be 4 inches. Ah, I wonder if I cut the other one wrong too. It's supposed to be 4 by 5 1/4. So let's see. There's the 4 and 5 1/4. So I cut at least that part right. It was this other one that I didn't cut right. I just like the design of this better than what I've seen. A lot of them, when they say a trimmer, it doesn't have this arm that comes up. It's stationary, and it's This is key if you want to cut out like the center and save this. You have to have that arm that flips up and that you can adjust this. And if it doesn't do that, you can't. At least I haven't been able to see how to do it. So, all right. I'm just going to do the panels, and my thing is downstairs. Darn. I'm going to use my glue. And know that this is going to go on a white card base, but I didn't grab my card bases. So, all right, there's that one. But I wanted you to see what the finished card basically is going to look like. And like I said, it's going to go on a white card base. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to take my 2 stems, one on each, and I'm going to put it kind of down towards the bottom. And I'm just going to use dots of glue to kind of hold it in place. Well, Ezzy's back. She's either chewed hers up or is bored with hers. She wants as JoJo's. I was looking for my tweezers. Oh, they must be, I've stuck them somewhere. I don't think they're downstairs because I have a set downstairs. See, my issue here is because I have the girls, when I don't want to bring JoJo up here all the time and put her in the pen. So I will work downstairs. So I have a set of supplies downstairs and a set of supplies upstairs. And sometimes, like with my ATG gun, I have it, I carry it back and forth, and I totally forgot to grab it. I love this map, but it's hard to pick things up. It's sticky. All right, now, that is a die that I have no idea where it came from. This is what it looks like. I don't know if it's in a set. I've had it for a while. It was in my art bin, and so there's that. And then I also had this one, not certain where it came from. There's no information on it. So I cut that out of some light purple, and I did 2. And then I cut this piece out, and now I need my pokey tool to put on top. And hopefully, the first time I took this apart, I ripped it. So I thought, okay. All right, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to sit here and make you watch, but this is going to go on here, and then I have a black body to go on top. I can't get them to pop out. There's that one. Maybe I'm better off with my fingers. Sometimes they don't cut all the way through, and sometimes it's operator error, like now, because it wasn't coming. Where'd that piece go? There it is. All right, let's see. But you can see the 2 differences in the background. So I'm doing much better with my finger. Don't ask me why, except for the little tiny pieces. But those. Some, when it's squirrely cue like this, it doesn't want to come out. All right, let me get this put together. And I'm not going to worry about the wings. I'm just going to put it on like so. You're okay. You're okay. She's finished her treat. And then this is going to go on a little higher. So there's one. I'm going to let that sit for a few minutes and dry. And I do have all these other pieces over here that I cut out. I didn't separate that die because I just felt it would be easier. All right. To cut it all out at once. All right, there's that one. That. Oh, I think I found a method to getting them to pop out. Except for this squirrely cue. This one, that bigger one, but I got it. Now I got all this to get off. So let me grab a paper. Get this out of the way. This is the best way to do it because, like I said, you can't slide pieces off of here. Ooh, I may have, sorry about that. There, as I cover it up. All right, let me put this one together. And I gotta find my black body for the other one. I know I cut it, but I threw things over here because I was cutting like a crazy woman, trying to get things done. So let me find my other black body. I don't see it. I'll put that on there. It may show up afterwards. Sometimes it's underneath something. All right, let me take this one. I'm going to let this one sit a little so that it can dry some. I'm going to grab my dimensionals here, or foam squares, I should say. Well, there we go. And now I will probably look for some gems to put on here. But see, by not gluing that down, it gave those wings a chance to lift up. So there's that one. Let me have this one. And we'll do the same thing here. I wonder where that body went. Knowing me and my frenzy, I threw it away. Things weren't working and I was grabbing stuff and throwing it. Okay. All right, there. I will put the body on that one. So there's that idea with the green. All right, I'm going to set those up there so you can still see them. And then I use the Spellbinders cutting dies. This is the Pom Pom Dahlia, but I'm going to use it flat. I do have to poke some of these out. This has these dies for the flowers, and then there's this one for the leaves, which I've already cut. So I've cut everything. I just have to put it all together and see what I want it to look like. I did not grab yellow. I'm going to put these together, and then I'm finding the back side. And putting the sizes together. What is your problem? What? All right, so I'm going to take that Oh, these are different sizes. Okay. I'm going to go here. No, maybe this one. No. I think they're going to have a hole in the middle, whether I want it or not. I think I'm going to use this one. Hey, that's enough. No. No. Good girl. All right. Sorry about that. All right, I'm going to put this one on, and I am going to kind of stagger it. So if it has a hole, it'll be like that. There. And then I'm going to take this one, and I think I'm going to do, that one's the wrong side. Nope, that was the right side. All right, there's that. Oops. I am apologizing. All right, I'm going to put these on top of here, so it's 3 levels. Jojo, no. I'm going to try to close up those holes a little bit. There. So now I've got my flowers and my leaves done. I'm going to let those, other than my circles. Ezzy, no bark. The 1/2 inch will work for the big ones, but I'm looking for my littler one. I have one that's like 3/8 of an inch. Oh no, don't see it. It's a small one like that, but it's a little bit smaller. Where did it go? 3/8 would be perfect, but I'm not finding it. I'm wondering if it's in my bin downstairs that I'm using for my class. So I'll just use this one with yellow. Okay, I need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now Ezzy's ringing the bell saying she needs to go out. I took them out before I started. Hey, Peggy. Shh, they think there's something outside. Every little noise, they think there's something outside. Oh my gosh, this morning we were in the sunroom on the sun porch, and they went berserk. The squirrels were out there, 2 of them, playing around. It's mating season. And they drove those girls crazy. All right, so I've got those. I'm going to let those dry, and I'm going to show you how to shape them to get some interest. I'm going to put my pen in here so it doesn't clog up. All right, let me cut down I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm going to cut down my blue ones. They're dry now. I don't need to hit them with the heat tool. All right, let's see. So I'm going to take 1/4 of an inch off of all 4 sides on this one. Whoops, wrong one. That was scoring it. That's the other thing. A lot of the new trimmers that I'm finding, they don't have the scoring tool. All they have is the cutter, which is fine because I use my scoring tool on my scoring tool, the big one that I have, to do most of my scoring. But okay. But I want to get something where I can continue to get. All right, I'm going to cut 1/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. I can continue to get the blades when I need them. This is the retired one by Stampin' Up, and I will be honest with you. Before I left Stampin' Up, I used to go to the quarterly meetings and convention and all. And at a quarterly meeting, we specifically asked, why are you retiring this one? And their comment was, there are no sales on this one. Well, the reason there's no sales is everybody has it and they love it. So you produce the blades. Well, I wasn't happy. Okay, Peggy, no problem. And it was like, that's not right. That is not right. So that bothered me. So then the new one came out and there wasn't much difference other than this. And they said they couldn't get these blades anymore. That's not true. They just they wanted to make a new one to sell so that, because they know that the demos will buy the new one, not me. I said, I'm using this one. If anybody wants a new one, they can buy the new one. All right, now I got to find a blue to go behind this, and this is going to be interesting. I have, this color will work. So it's just, I was like, nope, nope, nope. 5 1/4 is what I need. So it's, you know, I'm all about doing the best I can to save my customers money, because there's no sense buying something if you already have it. Save your money and spend it on something else. That's how I look at it. And that's how I do myself, you know. So, just one of those things. I will get off my soapbox now. All right, let me get this one done. Now, for those of you who are coming in, I did ink smushing. And after the ink smushing, I'm making a card with them. And I did it 2 ways. This one was done with acetate. And this one was done with a smushing tool. There is a lady who came up with the smushing tool. I just happened to use, it's on crooked, one of the Tim Holtz blenders. This is a larger one, and I remember I used the smaller one, which I really like the small one a lot, even better than this. And you just cover it with plastic, and it's the same thing as the lady basically made. She just took a paper towel and wrapped it in plastic and smushed it that way. I didn't have much luck with it. I didn't have much luck with this one. I should have used the small one. All right, now I've got 2 flowers for each card and some leaves for each card. And I don't know why. Oh, it only did 3 leaves. So it's that one, that one. I need to cut 1 little tiny leaf here. Let me do that real quick. I didn't realize that it did different. There were 3. Okay, so I'm gonna run this through and cut it out, add it. my magic mat. It is unbelievable how much I have used it. And it's not really flat, as you can see, but I put it in my Big Shot, just like I was going to cut something with the plate on top, and I roll it into the middle, and I just let it sit, like if I'm not going to do anything for a day or two, sit like that, it flattens it back out. You can heat it, and I've tried that, but it goes right back immediately to what it was before. So that's the reason why I decided to try this, and it works. All right, I'm going to put this sleeve on the big one, like so. And I'm going to put the little one on the big one also, like right about there, so it's sticking out. And then this one might need a sentiment. And I will tell you, if I put a sentiment on here, it will be like hello, because I like generic sentiments. That way I can use my card for anything I want. Oops, almost went the wrong way with it. I've been trying to find, you know what, rather than buy sentiments, I am finding, well, darn, I am finding I can create the sentiments on my computer, and I have a die from Uniquely Creative, and I use it. I figured out how to space my sentiment, and also I can use that die to cut out a whole bunch at the same time. Great idea. And I did that without showing you how to curl these. All right, I'm going to show you here. If you take, and you should probably do this before you put your leaves on, but you go around and you take your pokey tool and you bend it. And it just kind of curls the leaf. And then I'm going to go in and do these the same way. So it just gives it some life, some movement. And I just stick it in the middle and then bend up one side. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but it works for me. So I just kind of try it and see. Then I'm going to try to do these little tiny ones. I didn't get my finger on there right. And I'll show you the difference. The little tiny ones are a challenge, but it makes it look so much better. I can't get my finger there. All right, now see, look at the difference in the two. You really get some depth and movement to them. Oops, there. Sorry, I moved them up a little. So, all right, let me do this one the same way. My suggestion, do this before you put the leaves on. And that's why I glued these together. You probably could do it before you put the center, or before you glue the whole thing together. I just didn't think of it. So that's why I'm doing it after. The little one sometimes will hide behind the big one, so you have to pop it back out. And then look at that. See? Look at how nice that looks. You can do this, can't pick it up, with any flower. and just really give it some life, so to speak. All right, now I got to do this one. Just what you want to do. Watch me do this. I know. But, all right. So, how many of you think you're going to try this? You have to be careful because the petals are on a tiny piece of cardstock. So, you don't want to rip them off. Then you'll be playing Loves Me, Loves Me Not. I got one more right there. Now I can go and do the little ones. And you don't want to play that. I've done that and had to recut. Okay. Once you get into a rhythm, it's not too bad. There's that one. And now I'll do this one. I know usually if I do a background, I put my ink down, spray it with water, and I use watercolor paper and smush my paper in there. But if you don't, if you don't have watercolor paper or you don't feel you're good at doing it that way, try one of these methods. Less messy for one thing, for those of you who don't like to do messy crafting. There are some out there, and there's nothing wrong with that. I personally don't care. I always wear old clothes because I wipe my hands on my pants all the time. Okay, got it. Finally. Now let's add some dimensionals to this, and I'm going to use, oh wait a minute, that's the thick one. I want the thin one. This one's not as thick. I'm going to use the thick one on the back of here. And can I get a thick one on the back of this one? I say thick, but I'm thinking bigger in size. I love those little tiny ones. When I use up all my big squares, I'm going to the little tiny ones because I love them a lot. All right, now take my backs off. All right, and I think I'm going to put, all right, now, I flip this around because there's more up there, and this way I can hide some of this down here. All right, so there's that one, and I'm going to do the same thing with this. There's more interest there, but this time I'm going to go down the side rather than in an arc. So there's those two, and here's these. And again, I will add gems. I'll add them to a white card base. I will add I have not seen my little body. So I'll just cut another one and stick it on there because I'm not gonna worry about it at this point. So what do you think? Some fun ideas to play with. Oh, I understand that one, Betty Ann. If you could see my table over there, I've got 2 or 3 projects going on and it has to dry, so it goes on my table. And so things just kind of go around, and I've got 2 projects almost done for clear scraps, and I've got to work on the other. So, all right, I'm going to get ready and flip this up. I would love to see, close your eyes, Betty Ann, I would love to see what you come up with when you do it. So please share it with us. Oh, my phone is yelling at me again. I am so sorry. All right, here we go. You're looking at my hands. All right, I've got it. Wow. And it is time for me to get those girls on their walk so that they'll be ready for their nap and I can do some other things. sometime I've got to get to the grocery store. I'm out of bananas and I need some creamer. I got some creamer left, so if I don't get the bananas, I'm okay, but I would like to do it. I spent some time this morning shopping, trying to find I wanted a gate to put downstairs to keep the girls on the sun porch and not into the rest of the house. JoJo has more trouble with her potty training with too much freedom. So I'm closing her in and seeing if that helps. And it did yesterday. So I went looking and I was going to get one with a door. They're expensive. I found one that's folding. I got it because that'll be perfect because I need one at the base of the steps up here because if not, they come up here and play. And so it's like, oh, they're like two little kids trying to keep track of them. All right, ladies, I hope you have a fabulous Memorial Day weekend. And if you're going to any cookouts or anything, have some fun. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. And I will be back next Saturday, as far as I know. Sometimes things happen in the week, middle of the week, with another idea. And I'm not certain what I'm doing. We'll find out. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.